Hi everyone and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and overview as well as some benchmarks on this new video card from EVGA. This is the EVGA GeForce GTX 660 and we have the SC or SuperClocked edition. Now the 660 launching is bringing NVIDIA's Kepler architecture to a much wider range of folks because, well, they're less expensive. Now that is by virtue of a few different things. One is that they've actually gone with a different GPU than the ones that are used in, for instance, the 680, the 670, and the 660 Ti. That is the GK106 versus the GK104, which is a bit smaller. NVIDIA has a bit higher yields on it, and I'll go over the details of that in just a second. But I did want to talk about the memory frame buffer that you get with this card. You get 2 gigabytes or 2048 megabytes of GDDR5. It's on a 192-bit memory interface. It runs at 1,502 megahertz or 6,008 megahertz effective memory clock. So very fast memory on this. It's nice to see that they're sticking with the same memory clock that you get even with the 680. With the SuperClocked edition of this card, you get an overclocked GPU from EVGA. Just so you guys know, the reference GPU base clock is 980 and 1033 for the base clock and boost clock for a reference 660. EVGA has gone ahead and upped the base clock to 1046, and the boost clock on this card is 1111. Our card actually hit 1150 overall. And yeah, so you get a pretty nice boost clock from this card. And over here on the back, we can see some key features. So you do get a lot of cool stuff that you get with Kepler, such as adaptive VSync. Of course, you have NVIDIA surround technology. You can do up to 4 displays out of this single video card. Of course, support for DirectX 11 physics, all those good things. And you also get support for the newer technologies like FXAA and TXAA that NVIDIA has enabled with their 600 series of video cards. Some more details there for you guys who want to take a closer look, but we're going to go ahead and get into the box. Take a look inside the retail box. We have, of course, the video card right there, which is well protective with some bubble wrap. We also have some accessories which are tucked back in here, and let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. What's that? Nope. Okay, nothing else. Oh wait, yes there is. It's just nice. Alright, as you can tell I do this all the time. Alright, so here's your graphics card user guide from EVGA. So this is kind of a generic graphics card installation guide. If you guys aren't sure how to do that, you can go ahead and follow those instructions. We also have some detailed video guides on our YouTube channel if you guys want to check those out. Here's a more specific guide to the 600 series of video cards, so some more information there just about the cards in general. This is actually a 680 that they're showing you right there. But make sure, of course, that you have enough power available from your power supply. EVGA and NVIDIA are recommending 450 watt minimum for this video card as well as the rest of your computer. You also get a display driver installation disk as well as some EVGA software utilities right there. It's best to go to the EVGA website to download the latest utilities and best to go to the NVIDIA website or the EVGA website to download the latest drivers. You also get a case badge right there. Some information telling you that video cards get hot. Don't handle them while they're hot. You might burn yourself. Some information indicating that, yes, this card is PCI Express Gen 3 compliant, so you can use it with newer motherboards and stuff that support Gen 3, such as the Ivy Bridge Z77 platform from Intel. It's a great option for that. That happens to be what I'm going to be using to test this video card. I already did. I'll be honest, I already did test this video card. You get a DVI to VGA adapter. Bear in mind there's only one of the 2 DVI outs on the back of the card that this will work with. So if you have an older monitor, it's only VGA, you can use that. If not, I recommend going with the digital connections. You also get a power adapter here, 2 Molex to a 6-pin PCI Express adapter right there, and that is the only power adapter required for the card. So just remember, bear in mind you need minimum 450 watt power supply. I recommend going a little bit higher than that. Now we're looking at the video card itself. I'm going to start off with a measurement here from the brackets. If you guys can see down there, it is just a little bit longer than 9.5 inches. I'll call it 9 5/8, right thereabouts. But you should have plenty of room in most computer cases for this video card. I also wanted to point out that EVGA, in my experience, they do a lot of attention to detail. They want to make sure your card looks nice. So you can see the overall design of this card. Very clean, very nice matching colors for all the components, of course. And it comes with a plastic covering to sort of protect everything from fingerprints or cuts and scrapes or whatever as it goes along. But bear in mind there's some extra ones, so I'm just going to show you guys. There's one you can peel off right there. So if you've got an EVGA card, check that out. You might have forgotten one. There's another one right here that you can peel off that keeps this top panel nice and shiny. And they've even got one in here, right there, on the actual blower fan right there. So remember, don't push in on the blower fan at all, but you can peel that off just to make everything look nice. And I always like peeling that stuff off anyway. Okay, here's the video card itself. So there's a look at the design of it. You can see they got sort of a textured look here. This is a shroud style cooler, so it's fairly enclosed. There's really not many gaps at all. What you have is down at this end, you have the blower style fan that you can see. It's actually got a piece of plastic that wraps around it inside the shroud, and that blower fan is going to direct all the air across this way. And then you got a stack of aluminum fins right here that are above the GPU. So this is essentially the reference or stock cooler design from NVIDIA, I should say, for the 600 series in general that we've seen since the 680 debuted. And the benefit there is that it's going to be ejecting most of the hot air out the back of your case right there. And EVGA has done sort of a specialty bracket right there. They've widened the gaps in all the holes, and they're saying that actually just by making a little bit more room for airflow right there, that's actually lowering the temperature in a lot of tests by anywhere from 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. I've already ran this card through some benchmarks. The hottest that I saw it get in any of my benchmarks was about 72 degrees Celsius, which is well within range for a video card under full load. So this card does not get too hot at all. And there's just sort of a continuing look at that shroud style cooler. If you have it installed in most computer cases, you're going to be looking at that side of the card. So you can see the EVGA logo as well as the GeForce GTX 660 logo. While I'm over here, I might as well also point out there's your 6-pin PCI Express power connector. So again, 450 watt minimum power supply recommended for the whole card and your whole system. You also have an SLI finger right there. The EVGA has also put a nice little SLI rubber stopper on to keep it protected. Also give it a little bit more of a clean look looking at it from that edge, but this card is capable of two-way SLI, so you can set up two-way SLI if you have two of the same card. If you guys want to see some SLI comparisons, we're going to be doing a video specifically on that on our Newegg YouTube channel, so you guys can head over and check that out if you want to see some comparisons. We're going to put the two 660s up against a GTX 680. Down here at this end you can see your video outs. So again, you got two dual link DVI outs. Let me just pop the caps off of those. Again, the upper one here is digital only, no analog connector there. So if you're going to use that included adapter, use it with the lower plug. But both of those are dual link DVI connectors, so if you are going to use a digital connection, supports resolution of up to 2560 by 1600. That resolution also supported by the, wow, that just went flying. Supported by the HDMI out right here, as well as the DisplayPort 1.2 out. I did want to talk a little bit more about the GPU that's in this video card, which is, I believe, gosh, oh, it's right there. You can usually tell why that is based on the mounting screws are. So GPU is right under there. It is the GK106, which is a slightly smaller version of the GK104 GPU that's been used in the 680, 670, and the 660 Ti. GK106 has a fewer SMX units or streaming multiprocessors. You got 5 here in the 660. That gives you a total of 960 CUDA cores. And if you're wondering how that compares to the 660 Ti and the 670, those both have 7 SMX units, which gives you more CUDA cores. I can't remember the number right off the top of my head, but it's 192 cores per SMX unit. It's built on 28 nanometer Kepler manufacturing technology, which gives you access to those cool Kepler features like the adaptive VSync, these new TXAA and FXAA for games that support it, of course. You get 24 raster units. Again, 960 CUDA cores. This card has a boost clock of 1,111 megahertz, which is up from the stock boost clock of 1,033 megahertz. This specific card in our testing went up to 1,150 megahertz. Bear in mind it is going to vary based on card to card, but you will at minimum get that boost clock as indicated by the manufacturer. Of course, you got to make sure that your system is staying cool, so it's a good reason to keep your system clean, keep all of your air filters cleaned, because that's going to keep your card cooler, and your card is really only going to make use of that boost clock feature if the thermal environment permits, because it does check on that before it goes ahead and gives you that automatic overclock. Next up, we're going to jump into some benchmarks, and did want to point out we're using an open test bed, and that does change the air filtration or the airflow a little bit, so please bear that in mind as you're taking a look at our actual temperature numbers that we saw here. But we did test this with a 3570K CPU, an Intel Core i5, which I think is going to be a really popular CPU to to use with the 660. We're on a Z77 test bed with an Asus motherboard. We have some G.Skill Trident X memory running at 2666, which is really the only thing that I think most people won't have access to, but that high-speed memory didn't really affect our performance too much. But that said, here is a look at our benchmarks. And that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. We hope you've enjoyed. Once again, this has been the EVGA GeForce GTX 660 SC, or SuperClocked edition. If you'd like to see more tech videos, you can check out our Newegg YouTube channel. I'm also going to be doing a full review on the GTX 660, as well as some benchmark comparisons, so you guys can head over and check that out. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.